Yeah, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf, Nedarim Lamed Gimel number 33, new parak, the fourth parak. The parak starts off on the bottom of Lamed Beis Lamed Beis. Ein ben huder hanal lechaver lemuder hanal Michael el jus regal b'kelim shein osam henochel nefesh. It mentions two types of Nedarim: a Nedar in general sense. The guy can't get any benefit from me, and then there's a Nedar that he can't get benefit from me in food-related ways. Like the Gemara explains, Hana really means he said Hana Hamavila de Michael. Not only can he benefit from my food, but any Hana, any benefit will lead to him consuming food from me. Give him pots and pans, things like that. The Gemara even says maybe to give him a fancy car to show up to a party, look stylish at the party. It'll give him more sushi at the party. So those things are concluded in Michael. However, the Mishnah says that there's two nafkaminas between them, right? One nafkamina, these two nadarim, is drisas harega, which basically means take a shortcut through the person's property, right? If you say mudar hanami menu, in general sense, I can't pass through his property, I can't take a shortcut to my house through his property. Hanaz Michael is not included. And secondly, the Gemara, second nafkamina, not related to the shir today, but things that are not related to ochel nefesh, right? Or air conditioner and things like that, or a shirt. These things are not related to ochel nefesh. Therefore, if it's a general hana, you can't lend them out your shirt. However, if it's not a general hana, then you could lend them out your shirt. It's just related to food. Shirt is not related to food, ostensibly, unless it's a fancy shirt that you use for a tuxedo that you go to someone's fancy party and they treat you like royalty over there. That's a suffix in the Gemara. So the Gemara opens up. Matana, who is the author of Mishnah? One of the things in the Mishnah it says that drisas haregel, passing through someone's property, ostensibly means to take a shortcut through someone's property. It's easier to get to your house by passing through someone else's property. So the Mishnah concedes that drisas haregel is the asr, even in a case. A general neder, you can't get enough from me. Now, it's machlokas. Blazer says vitor is asr mudar, and the Rabbanan obviously say vitor is mutar mudar. Now we happen to pass like Blazer vitor asr mudar because the Stam Mishnah is like Blazer over here. What is the svara over here? Now, passing through someone's property, we learned at the end of Maseches Ketuvos that a path to get through someone else's property to my property, a shortcut, is worth money, right? The Gemara there talks about. Right, if you left, you went away, and then people bought the fields around your property. So there's a machlokas over there. Right? Can the demand that you get a path through, or do you have to pay money for it? A mea mana, or yifrach ba'avir. The Gemara says you have to go fly. And they have flying cars now. You can fly to your property, but they're making flying cars. In a couple of years, there should be flying cars around the world. So technically, it's worth money. It's worth $100,000. $100. It could be worth a lot. Everyone knows that a shortcut, you can charge for a shortcut, a derech, right, through someone's property is worth money. It is worth money. So the reason it's not worth money over here is we're talking about the guy says it's okay to pass through my property, right? If he would have said, I don't want you to pass through my property, I'm charging you a fee every time you walk on my property, $100, right? So everyone would agree, not just Rabbi Lezer, everyone would agree. Even the Rabbanan would agree in that case. That's Hana, because, right? If he doesn't let me walk, right? And he normally charges, the guy normally charges, he's the type of person that normally charges for walking through his property. And today he says, you can walk for free. You can't do that, right? Because I normally charge for my property. But the point of the Mishnah is that most people are okay with it. Vitor, it's considered vitor. Most people let people trespass, quote unquote trespass, or take a shortcut through their property. I know my parents had a house where a lot of people, the way it's constructed, the streets, is that a lot of people, it's a shortcut for them to pass through my parents' property. They let a lot of people walk back from shul through their property, which also, if there was no windows there, so. There happen to be windows in the area, but they're okay with it. It's a den. It's not such a private area. Sometimes you can draw the curtains so no one will see inside. So normally most people are okay with it. They're not going to charge you for a shortcut through their property if it's going to help you out. It's like the Gemara says in Baba Kama, where it's a hana for one person. It doesn't hurt the other person, right? Zenen evzel chaser. So zenen evzel chaser is considered to be has some sort of value, but most people don't charge for such a thing. Nonetheless, Lezer holds you can't get hana. Why can't you get hana according to Lezer? And why did the Chacham say you could get hana? So I'd like to explain the machlokas as follows: is that normally people don't charge for this. If they would charge, that's for sure a problem. But if they don't charge, and most people don't charge, so there's no monetary value over here. However, is the neder chal, right? Neder is when I can't get benefit from somebody. Does that mean I can't financially benefit from the guy, or I can't get any pleasure from the guy at all? So here, since most people don't charge for it, there is no monetary value over it. But Rav Lezer says, nonetheless, it's usher. It's usher because I'm getting benefit, right? It doesn't just mean financial benefit, right? There's me'ila bekonamos. There's a concept of financial aspect to the Nedarim, but any benefit that I get, physical benefit that I get from the person, we'll see in the coming program, I can't get. Even if you don't charge for that, there's no monetary value for it. It's still usher. The Rabbanan seem would agree to that. Why do they say it's mutter? The reason they say it's mutter is that over here, a neder is chal on the chefsa, so it's chal on something. So if there's an object, I can't get benefit from the object, it's chal on that object. If it's a service, right, like cutting your hair, taking a haircut, I can't get a haircut. You're a barber, I can get a haircut from you. Because even though it's service, it's no actual chefsa over here, but it's chal on the person giving the haircut, right? The person who's providing this service, so I can't get benefit from him. He's physically in the service. Over here, what is there physically to place this hana? It's just me walking on your property, right? It's not, there's no, right? So according to Rav Lezer, it's chal. Where's the chal? It's chal on your ground, or it's chal on the ground, right? That I own, that you're passing through. That's the neder. It's chal. According to the Rabbanan, me taking a shortcut, it's not chal and neder on the ground. It's ein bo mamish. Like Nedarim are not chal, never ein bo mamish. Like walking, like Mara says, or sleeping, or things like that. There's no davar sheish bo mamish. Nedarim are not chal, never ein bo mamish. The Rabbanan hold there's nothing for the neder to be chal on. It's just taking a short through my property. It's not going to be chal on the ground. It's not. I'm not answering my ground on you. I'm answering the walking. The walking is answer, and the davar shema mamash. The Rebbe holds no, that even though it's davar shema mamash, the walking, and nonetheless the nether is chal on my ground in terms of you walking through. I think that's the machlokus over here. Would we say the nether is chal on the ground or not? It would be a davar shema mamash or davar shema mamash. That's the way I like to explain the machlokus. We hold that it is chal on the ground, and therefore you can't walk through it. According to Rebbe Lezer, vidur aser mudar. No, I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you with the next.